All right, well, we just bought this sucker. So, wow, first time driving a bus. This is gonna be cool. Big old 1997 International. Needs some stuff. It's just right. Let's check this thing out here. Wow. All right, let me get situated. Figure all this out. Put this thing on so I can see. Wow, this is gonna be neat. Driving a bus. Got my fancy little mask here. All right, what do we gotta do here? We have to brake. Let's close the doors. There's our pressure, make sure everything's good here. Can't see much out of these mirrors, I'll tell you that much. Woohoo! I can't see anything out of these mirrors at all. So, maybe a little bit out of that top one. How are we looking on the house there? So far, so good. I think we're still good on everything. We should probably figure out a seatbelt here, just in case, you know, we die in the process of this whole thing. All right, here we go. We're rolling. You can see a little bit out of that, a little bit out of that. All right, let's get moving. So we're rolling. It's a big rig. Kind of exciting. Thanks, kind of. It's super exciting. Check it out. Kids, sit the hell down. And brakes are working. We shall see. There's stuff flying around back there. 214,000 miles, 213,000. All right, you know, it's got some miles, but not a whole heck of a lot for a bus. So we wanted one of these because this is what I went to school in as a kid. This is a 1997 International 3800. Stop and let this car. Oh, really? Good, because I don't know, I got to swing this turn here. There we go. Was this exciting to drive an old bus? Wow, it's super, super cool. Everything's working, as it should. Dirty, I gotta clean it. We got our work cut out for us. Of all this to do back there, they started this project, and well, we're going to finish it. It has air conditioning, factory air. That was a big plus of buying that. It's one of the reasons we wanted this bus. All right. Man, this is some exciting stuff. Hey, the horn works. Probably get some more fuel for it. Thing fired up pretty nice, purring like a kitten. Take it, that's what you want with an old diesel. Hum right along. Super, super exciting. We're building a Skoolie. You got to check this out. Mr. Brian's Amazing World. Follow along, like and subscribe. We have some really neat ideas. This has a handicap ramp in the back, and we're gonna, with the lift and everything. And we want to turn that into a fold-out deck. You know, where they grew up with micro machines and transformers, and things can open up and do some neat stuff. So yeah, there's metal blowing around back there. Oh boy. All right, let's keep driving this thing. I'm still in the lane, and we're doing just fine. Wow. We're driving. We just got done with the DMV, and we managed to get it all registered as a motorhome. Luckily, she's done all the paperwork in Vermont, and everything is good to go. So we are now driving a motorhome, no longer a school bus. And basically, we are paying $140 a year for insurance, and it's done. Now we can just enjoy this and drive it, and it's driving pretty well. Cruising down the road. It's very exciting and terrifying at the same time. Something about buying something that, you know, hasn't been used in a little while, and yet you have to make it home with it. And of course, I don't even have my phone on me, so fingers are crossed. Seems like it's working pretty well. I have a bag full of tools just in case. Hopefully I don't even need to break them out. I put a little fuel in it, so hopefully it makes it there. Hanging and clanking with all this metal that's in the back, so we put on down the road here. But wow, this is awesome. Alright, well, we're about halfway through our 30-plus mile ride home here, and it's driving pretty well. You know, we're just cruising along at 55 on this road, and most cars barely go 45 on this road, so we're doing alright. Really excited to be doing this in an old bus. We're trucking along. 55, just cruising, watching the world. Awesome. Well, I made it. It made it home. It ran a little hot at one point, but you know, it's been sitting a while. So here's the bus. Let me show you. The girl had a wood stove here, and well, needless to say, it's at least a place for a wood stove. We'd probably put one back. She had a sink and a stove. We're going to take everything out of this bus, the floor, and we're going to re-insulate, make sure it's all good under the floor. She did spray foam most of the ceiling, which is a big perk. I mean, that saves us a lot of trouble, so I don't know. We still have to slide some panels in and run some wires, but overall, it was okay that all this metal is out of here because most of it's going to come out completely, and we're going to redo it all with wood. And, oh geez, let's see. It's our handicap ramp, and game plan here is we're going to make a closet out of this, and well, you go through the closet, and then this will fold down and become a porch. Maybe it can all flop out and open up, I don't know, kind of transformer like. And let's see, she put a bed in here, and I guess the bed does lift up, but like I said, everything's going to come out of this. There's a tank under there for some water, and well, we have our work cut out for us. Big key factor, we wanted these air conditioners. These two factory air conditioners are going to be awesome because when you're driving, it gets hot. It was hot as anything in here. So once we figure out all the wiring and making sure everything's good, we'll fire those up. But yeah, I can't wait to start ripping and tearing in this sucker. This is going to be cool. We're even contemplating whether we're going to cut some of this roof and lift it up a little bit, put skylight in maybe. Give me a little more headroom. I mean, right now I'm standing straight. If I stand really tall, I can just touch the ceiling. Not a big deal, except for when we redo the floor, we're probably going to gain an inch, or lose an inch, and if we put stuff on the ceiling, which I want to wrap the whole thing with wood, we're going to lose a little more. So I might not really be able to walk in here too well, but we'll see. Hey, at least we got it home. That was a big perk and a big challenge. So let's go outside and take a look at what we're looking at here. So, geez, this is a big bus. 3800 with T44 4E diesel engine in there. And I mean, our tires are pretty good here, so we got lucked out with them. Drove really well, got a little warm, but I'm sure this just needs to be cleaned out, flushed out, and tinkered with and washed. I mean, you can see how dirty it is. It's been sitting a little while. Wow. Awesome. This is so cool. The ceiling's already been, or the roof I should say, has already been painted white, and we'll just clean all that up. Overall, it's in pretty great shape for a bus. I mean, very little rust on it. And even the rear tires aren't too bad. So we're lucking out with this thing so far. And we got it home. That was the big challenge. So I barely have any room to move here. Oh, came with a half a keg looking thing in there. And we did get our motorhome plate. So that is a big one. With a motorhome plate, now you can go to campgrounds, and now you can pay really cheap insurance, and you don't need all the requirements that a commercial bus is going to need. Especially having air brakes, you're good to go. Driving this thing is the weight limits and air brakes are fine in Pennsylvania as long as it's titled as a motorhome. So, I mean, this is pretty much the only bit of rust we really have is this one little bit here, so we'll scrape and clean that up. Really curious about this handicap door. I kind of don't want to touch anything until I'm in the position to open it all up. But the windows are already tinted for us, so that saves us a little bit of trouble. You know, not the darkest of tint. We'll probably go through and make it even darker. But hey, we made it home. Old 1997 bus. So now we have this bus, we have that bus. You got to follow along and see what we're up to. We're up to no good all the time. Well, I know what I want to do. I want to grab the hose and start cleaning. Scrub this puppy up, make her look all pretty. Especially, you know, wow, we got a bus. Atheist driving a church bus. How crazy is that? I love it. Day one, and well, she's working on it. We have a lot of work to rip all this out. And there's our 2 air conditioners, which is really awesome to have factory air. She's pulling the bed apart so we can get to the floor. Basically, the previous owner, they just covered over this floor, so what we're going to do is we're going to rip this out so we get rid of all this thermal heat loss through the metal, and we'll get the plywood out underneath so we can see what we're really working with and clean it up. There's our handicap access ramp. We're going to try to do something cool with that. But, yeah. I mean, it wasn't a bad bed. It folded up out of the way, and it was nice, but it's not going to work for what we're trying to do. So, yeah, here we go. Here's a trip. All right, well, it's pretty much day one of working on our bus here. This is going to be a Project Skoolie, and we have our work cut out for us. We kind of started ripping and tearing a little bit in here. Basically, what we're going to do is take all this flooring out and go through it and insulate the floor, because previous owner, they just covered over this floor. So we want to get all this out of there, make sure there's no rust or anything else that we have to address under that. Now, there was a bed here, and the wife took that apart. But we have a couple more things. We're going to tear the rest of this stuff out of here. Luckily, we have a water tank. We have some good tile to go with, and we have an inverter set up that came from an RV. So we have some stuff to go. We're doing some wiring up ahead here, figuring out any other issues and making sure everything's good and what we want to have on this bus. We definitely have some work ahead of us, but yeah, it's pretty cool and exciting, right?
Oh yeah,
oh,
very.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. So you have to follow along. Obviously, this thing ran really, really well. I'll give you a little show of this engine. Why don't we come out here now and pop this hood, and I'll show you this thing. Really impressed me. I couldn't believe how clean this engine was. So basically, there you go, T444E, which is a really good engine here. I mean, a 444 cubic inch engine, turbocharged, and it's electronically controlled. So those are what those numbers all mean. And well, it's kind of what you want, turbocharged bus. And well, I have to go through and make sure everything's working, filters are good, check the fluids, check this, check everything, so it's ready to run. And well, now that it's home, overall, I mean, tires are pretty good on this puppy. That's a big thing with a bus. It needs some wax, clean it up, and I mean, it needed a really good wash. Other than that, like I said, here's the other side of this thing, and for a diesel engine to be this clean, and basically this one is right here at 190 horsepower for 1997. And that's just enough to get this bus up and going. It hummed along pretty well for a bus. But this thing's pretty big. And boy, we got a project. I can't wait to get on this. Luckily, I mean, they already painted the roof white, so that's a big help right there for saving some heat. The previous owner insulated the roof with spray foam, so that helps. And really, we just have to clean it out, start fresh with our floor plan, paint it up, clean it up, and go from there. And we're going to do it up a little bit, make it kind of fun and pretty and nice and exactly what we want, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, this came about, I mean, our truck kind of doesn't haul everybody anymore, and it's, you know, a 4-door truck with, you know, 3-4 kids in there, plus a pregnant wife and a dog and toys in the back, so let's just get a bus instead of a minivan or some stupid van that can't pull everything that we need to do anyway. So now we can have some fun and some style while we're doing it. Luckily, this machine, it has dual air conditioners in there, so that's a nice perk to have air conditioning in a school bus to begin with. And you know, it's just a big giant metal box, so anywhere you are that's in the sun, it's going to get warm. And driving with all those windows open, that's not going to be fun either. So let's convert this thing and follow along. Make sure you like and subscribe. Mr. Brian's Amazing World, right?
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right, I'll start right here and tell you exactly why they did not rip up this floor. Because these handicap tracks, they are bolted in every like 4 inches. And of course the heads are hex heads and they're stripped. So it's going to be a nightmare and a lot of work to pull those out. So they probably pulled out one of them and said, forget this. But the problem with that is you don't know what's underneath this. So as we're pulling up this 3/4 plywood, ta-da, we find this moldy, black, nasty spot. Which, you know, you don't want to fix this whole thing up. This beautiful RV, and all of a sudden it just has that hidden underneath it. So you got to start fresh. It's a pain in the ass. It's not what you want to do. You got to rip this stuff out and do it right, so you know you end up with a quality product at the end, or you're just going to sell yourself short and you'll suffer later. Luckily, I mean, we can see they did a pretty good job spray foaming this roof, and then there's also spots up here that they didn't quite get to. So we'll have to, you know, a little bit of this, a little of that. These things probably intimidated them to have to deal with that. But we'll take care of that as well. We still have wires to run up there and hide stuff anyway, so it's okay that it's not insulated yet. But this floor, this is so crucial. And we will gain a little bit because, well, once we take off this plywood, we'll be down to the base metal, and then we're going to build it up with 1-inch foam, and then we'll re-plywood it again with the subfloor. So that'll gain us, well, we'll probably be right where we are now. And I'm 6'1", and I'm just clearing here. So with this, plus flooring, plus a little bit of whatever we put on the ceiling, it's going to be really tight for me, but you know, for how often I'm going to be standing up in the bus, I think I'm going to be laying down or outside or driving. So it'll probably still work. If I really need to stretch my neck, I can stand in one of these things and go from there.